we've got some huge transfer news to bring to you guys. It's actually not in the first division. It's not what you might expect. No. Laos have signed a young up-and-coming goalkeeper by the name of Roy Moore. Sorry, I just had to mention.
And then, of course, we do know that Anto had been released to FTW.
On loan. Anto's on loan to FTW.
So, but who do we have? Of course. By the time this episode will be out,
we'll definitely know.
More final.
Yeah, we'll definitely know. The deadline for adding is tonight. The time of filming. And aside from the mice, who apparently have something to tell us,
maybe they have their own opinions about the signings too.
Maybe they want to know where Angel is. I'm not sure which team that is, to be honest. But we'll know more because tonight's the deadline for adding players. Right. So let's go through a few of the big drop names first, just to get that out of the way. Because there's some big players there, like Demit's been dropped from Global. Because he's trying out with DC United, so of course MLS is a big draw. It's if a player can get there, then it's going to improve him a lot. He's a quality player, so good luck to Demit. From there, you've also got Wani Garado, who's probably back in Spain. A few other players too, David Bassa. Kaya probably have the most interesting drop list, I think. It's like their entire back four have just disappeared. Joshua Beloya, Darren Hartman, Del Rosario.
Jason Sabio
and Ali, the centre backs there. Ali obviously is injured, so it's maybe why. Though he was rumoured to join the Green Archers.
Right.
Maybe we'll find out tomorrow if that happens or not.
Although apparently there's a parenthesis to his, he's he's not exactly a free agent. So at least that's as far as the news. As of today.
And Lex for their holding midfielder. So they've got some big holes to fill there.
Adrian Semblant, of course, also. Who has moved on to Nomads,
it's some big holes to fill for Kaya, so you really wonder where their big leaders are going to come from. But they've got the time, they've got some money to do that, so maybe we'll see. Loyola miss Anto. They'll miss the holding midfielder, to be honest.
But they are getting from Pachanga also Freddy, right?
Yeah.
And of course we've seen him play already in the national championships. So who else do we have on the list?
Stallion, OJ Porteria's gone, Manok. I know Enzo Pinga, he's gone to Kaya. Sorry?
Clarinho.
Sorry, OJ Clarinho. No, Porteria. Apologies there. Porteria, of course, set up Chris Great, which is a good goal in the semi-final. It was a nice run from him there. So he's gone to Kaya.
Manok with Archers, together with, of course, the biggest signing so far of the Archers, Chiefy. Any news about the Air Force?
Well, Ian's still there. To me, that's a surprising bit. I'm really surprised he's there. Apparently, we've just been told that the reason is he got a promotion, so I assume that's the Air Force's way of giving increased salaries for footballers. I assume, because obviously he's now their only big name player, to be honest. Right. Although goalkeeper's good. Tats Mercado. So we'll see how they'll do.
He's rumored to be dropped.
As well. Wow.
Not officially on the drop, but
that would be huge news. We'll find out what happens with that one.
In a few hours.
Let's just keep the camera rolling until what time is it now? Can we all stay here for another 6 hours and then we'll find out for sure? But Javi, managing PSG, it's in that transition period. Half of your team has also been dropped, roughly. I think it's just slightly more. So can you tell us what signings you've brought in? We mentioned a couple earlier on. What's the transformation going on at PSG?
Yeah, well, we released quite a bit of the foreign players. Decided to just keep a core, and we brought in some players that were from San Beda. Sumo de Villa came in, Arculio is there, so, and then we brought in Angelo. So we were able to get, replaced with good local talent that's here, and that's how we plan to continue to build the team. Get a good core of foreign players and be able to support it with a great cast of local players and build from there unknown, basically non-celebrity players. So we don't have to pay so much.
Ooh, interesting. So how much do you get paid, Angelo? Don't need to answer that way. But as you mentioned before, with the rivalry, with it, you like a friendly rivalry, you're really close with Jeffrey Christians of Global. Are there any particular signings that you would love to see move? Any particular transfers or moves that you would like to see within the UFL?
Like, you mean, if I want somebody to come and play for Pasarga or something like that?
Firstly, the ones who are free, the ones who are available. Ricardo or Angelo, what transfers could we hopefully look forward to? Do you think?
You know, that's so hard to say, because each club, you need to know what position they're trying to look for. You know, I mean, the signings, a talent, to keep a talent in your bench at this stage in the UFL, I would believe it's like a crime. I would rather release him and make him play in another club, let them gain the experience, and come out. But yeah, I was listening to the list, and I was like, oh, you know, there's a lot of names that were out there. People are unsure of who they are, and that's the reason why no club is just running after them. We need to be able to showcase some of these talents out, and I hope they go to the second division at least, and people can scout them there.
Right. Yeah. In fact, you were saying earlier how it seems that the back four of Kaya is nowhere in the front. So it should be, to have his point, it should be interesting who Kaya will be filling in for these guys. Yeah. Of course, we don't find out until tomorrow.
There's also some really interesting news regarding the UFL itself. The second division has gone down to 10 teams, which I think is a really good move. The playoff for relegation and promotion. Javier was telling us earlier how the first division, the 10th team will automatically get relegated in the top division, as happened with the Navy. But then the 9th team will play off with the second team in the second division. Whoever wins that game, home and away
Home and away.
Whoever wins that tie will then either be promoted or relegated, or they'll stay. It's a really interesting thing, because as you're saying, it gets like 1.5 teams each season on average will be promoted. So it's a good way to test. How do you see now the growth of like the second division because of that? There's a lot of players being dropped, a lot of players coming in. You mentioned before that some will be going to the second division. How much have you seen both leagues develop over the last few years?
I think the league, both first and second, have grown exponentially. We didn't expect it to grow this quickly. We thought it would take a little bit more time. Our 5-year plans went down to like 2 years, 3 years. And the cup that we put opening up to other clubs just shows what the other talents are out there. So now basically you got 20 teams looking for the best talent available in the Philippines. So this is just going to continue to grow. I think there'll be good competition in the second division. I've talked to some of the managers, and you know, they're building from Union all the way to Socceroos. They're building, and they want to do a better showing now. Navy's there. So it's going to be really interesting, the second division.
Yeah, I've been one to toughen myself up for that game. So that should be interesting. But okay, let's go, Angela. Like you said before, let's go back with the one ideal signing that you'd love to see. If there was one particular player you'd love to see at, for example, PSG, who would you bring across?
Well, Angel is in Spain, but I'm not really sure of it. But if he would be available, I think he would be a great asset for PSG. That's what, Angel.
And Ricardo, for you, who would you really love to see at PSG?
Kahit sino siguro.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see the news of all of the additions. I mean, the drops, some of the drops. We've got some pretty big names on the list, particularly with Kaya. You can understand some of the drops with Global because, well, Demit's going for trials with the MLS, for example. So it's going to be really interesting to see who is added. But one thing's for sure, the UFL has improved so much in the last few years. The quality of Philippine football has exponentially grown. And so we can really look forward to the most competitive league ever again. Every year it becomes more and more competitive. And so every year we have to say it's the most competitive ever. For more on that, you follow us at FTW Sports to find out who will emerge from that pack and who can be crowned UFL champions this year.